Okay, so let's make the assumption you've already figured out what brand of bike you want to buy. But is that, or should that be, a two-stroke or a four-stroke? What's going to suit you best and why? And what sort of terrain and conditions do each of those bikes most excel in? So to answer those questions, we've decided to put a two and a four-stroke 2024 model Husqvarna, all new generation bikes, up against each other at a Transmoto 8-hour. And we're going to put them in the hands of a couple of guys called Rob and Marcus Dummer, who are Husky tragics, love their Huskies, and also regulars at Transmoto events. In other words, what we're talking about here is a real world test, not just with pro riders, but with guys who buy their own bikes, own their own bikes, and have a really deep understanding of the whole ownership experience. So from the range of bikes on offer from Husqvarna in 2024, why these particular models? Well, first of all, 300 two-stroke, 350 four-stroke, biggest selling bike or thereabouts. I know the 500 is very close to the 350, biggest selling bike in their two and four-stroke model ranges respectively. Both around the same price. The 300 comes in at sort of 17,700. The 350 comes in around 17,200. The other reason too is our two test riders. As I said before, they're fanatics, right? They love their Huskies and they buy several of them a year through MPE as it happens. But Marcus has a FE350. Rob rides an FE350, but on the recommendation of one of his mates, he's looking very carefully at this big selling 300cc two-stroke. So how are we going to run this show? Well, here we are today on Friday afternoon ahead of the 8-hour on the weekend. We're going to get the guys to go on the dead stock bikes, just go out, bed them in, do a bit of a shakedown ride, and then, you know, after a couple of laps of the 16k loop we've got here at Kubi Dam, they're going to come back and give us their sort of first impressions, what surprised and what didn't, just top line sort of stuff on each bike. So then, on Sunday afternoon, once again, we're going to come and check in with the boys after they've been around a track that will have evolved into a much rougher, much gnarlier track, and get a sense from them about which bike they preferred and which was their favourite and why. From here I'm in, it's over to the Dummer boys, Marcus and Rob.
So yeah, the two-stroke straight off the bat feels really light, nimble, and off the bottom it actually pulls the whole way through, like a lot more bottom end than I expected. But comparing it to the 350, they're both super, super nimble and out of the box, like easy to ride. You can do whatever you want of them.
Yeah, for a new bike, felt good. We need a few adjustments, just headstock, things like that, spokes. But for Sunday, looking forward to it. Should be fun.
So yeah, at the moment, track's barely cut in, smooth, easy to see, easy to ride. It'll be interesting to see what these things can do when that track's beat up, and had a couple hundred bikes through it. Looking forward to Sunday. First hour, looks like we had a little bit of rain, so go out and see how much traction there is. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good day, a little bit of rain to settle the dust, have a good time. Good opening lap, a lot grippier than I thought it was going to be in some spots, and a lot slipperier in some others. Bike did really well. The gearing changes we made, which was just going from a 14 to a 13 on the front sprocket, made a big difference. Besides that, it went really well, yeah.
A lot different to the first lap when we test rode on Friday. But no, overall the bike's, yeah, good. Going well, we changed the gearing, it's pulling a lot harder, a lot better. So, no, it was fun actually. Yeah, I got a 450 normally, but this is surprising. 350 is really surprising me. Yeah, good fun.
Oh, it's chewed out. There's holes everywhere, rocks coming out of the ground. It's getting to be a real racetrack at the moment, so it's good. It'll keep getting rougher. Over the back's turned almost like sand, just bull dust and rocks hanging out of it. The 300, it surprises you in spots where you think it shouldn't work. It goes really, really well. Spots where a 4-stroke's a little bit easier to ride, it's a bit more hard work. But overall, really, really cool to see the comparison between the two bikes. Well, we made it to the finish line. It's been a great day. Bikes ran faultlessly. It was a pretty hard day as the track sort of deteriorated. From what we rode this morning, I did our first lap. It was super smooth, super fast, really easy to do, sort of whatever you wanted. As the day went on, it ended up almost one line, really whooped out, rocks coming out of the ground, out of the hills everywhere. So it just went from nice and sort of a leisurely trail ride to pretty rough, rutted out and hard work.
The event was good, it was tough. As Marcus said, it was smoother in the morning and it's just deteriorated all day. The rocks, the whoops, the dust, it was hard work. But yeah, good to back on these bikes. Just really jump off one, jump on the other and away you go, and you can get a real good feel for it. I probably lean towards the 350, but I think more time on the 2-stroke. It was later in the day, it was lighter and it was easy to ride, if that makes sense. But the 350, I felt more stable on it. But that was just my opinion. But I think more time on a 2-stroke. It's been a lot of years since I've ridden one, and yeah, it's quietly impressed me. Felt light and it pulled out of ruts really well. It didn't just stay in them, and you could sort of throw it where you wanted to throw it. It did have a little dance in the front end I wasn't comfortable with, but once we did a few tweaks, it got better.
This main thing that surprised me the most about the 300 was how planted it felt in the really technical stuff. Normally on a 4-stroke or a bigger bike, it sort of feels a little bit unstable and you bounce off everything. Through that sort of stuff, it was just really direct and it did everything it was told. But still just great when you actually want to get up it and get aggressive on it. It really responded well. The 350, it really suits my style just with how aggressive you can be with it, and the more you push it, the more it sort of enjoys it, and you get some feedback from the bike throughout, and I really enjoy that style of riding, and the back end of it stays planted really, really well. So getting that drive to the ground and being able to sort of push it and have that confidence in it being stable, that's the main sort of reason that I really enjoy it. There's never a bad day on a dirt bike. We've had a great day here. It's a hard pick between the two, but if you were going to spend more time trail riding in some tight singles and some real flowy stuff, I think the 300's my pick. If you want to get to some more of these Transmoto events, or you maybe enjoy a bit more faster riding like grass track or a bit of motocross, I really think the 350's it.